Hey y'all, welcome back to another General Hospital review. And today I'm going to try my best to remember everything that happened yesterday so I can just review Monday and yesterday. Hope y'all are well. It is freezing here in Ohio, but I hope in your part of the world the weather is a bit more beautiful and warmer. So, since I just got done watching yesterday's episode, we will discuss that. Let's start with Lucky and Elizabeth. I knew that they were going to kiss. I am so happy to have witnessed it. And Lucky seems really into Elizabeth. I know they had a relationship in the past, and I hope that they actually get back together, as long as Lucky doesn't leave again, which I hope he doesn't. But I am so happy that we finally got to see Tobias, Aiden's man. That makes me really happy to see that the soap is putting LGBTQ issues and relationships in the forefront. I know GH has had LGBTQ characters before, and there was that whole thing with Christina and Parker. So, it's not like it's foreign, but it's nice to see, especially with the younger kids, that this is happening. Because a lot of kids nowadays are a part of the LGBTQ community, and it's good to showcase that. So it was really nice to see. Of course, Aiden made Elizabeth a Valentine's Day cake. I kind of wonder what kind of cake it was. If anybody with vision wouldn't mind describing the cake, that would be pretty amazing. So, yeah. So those scenes were really nice today. And unfortunately, at the end of today's episode, Cyrus shows up at Elizabeth's house, I believe. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with that. Nervous, but excited, because Cyrus is dangerous as fuck, and people need to kind of see that. Moving on to Anna and Jason. They had a conversation in which Anna basically said, I'm going to let you go, but before I do, I need to know that you aren't going to do anything to Cyrus when you walk out that door. And so the conversation basically consisted of Anna mostly talking, Jason mostly sitting there and, yep, I hear you, saying his usual one or two liners. And basically Anna was saying, I understand how you feel. I understand what happened with Sam. I know you want justice for Sam, but you need to not do anything. I need to still have respect of my officers. So let me arrest Cyrus, put him away, and everything will be cool if you sit back and do nothing. And they have a moment where they're talking about, they trust each other. Very unexpected and surprising trust, but they do trust each other. They've worked together, and things have seemed to have worked out. But it doesn't seem like Jason's going to agree to what Anna's proposing here. And we know Jason. So, and I hope whatever happens today with Cyrus, I hope that somebody call the cops. Because that man needs to be put away. He's fucking dangerous, and I feel like something's going to happen to Elizabeth. Oh, I just remembered something. Someone wrote in a Facebook group that Lucky left Elizabeth alone, and so Elizabeth is there by herself, and Cyrus shows up. Fuck. This is not going to be good. Fuck. Oh, my God. Okay, we need to move on because I'm going to get upset. Carly and Jack were adorable today, as usual. Carly and the girls just got done baking cookies, and Carly needs to clean up. Jack shows up. She goes to turn on the water, and water sprays everywhere. And instead of calling a plumber, Jack fixes her issue. And their little flirty banter back and forth. He's telling her to turn on the water, and she's like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And he's like, just do it. I love them together. I really do. I don't know what it is about them, but I feel like they have good chemistry, and I hope that their relationship can withstand whatever happens, especially with Jack's line of work. Because it seems like he'll do anything for Carly, even if it poses a risk for his job or whatever. It seems like he'll do whatever for her. So I really hope that they can last, but in the world of soap operas, things are never easy, and sometimes things don't always last, like in real life. So we will see what happens. Kai and Trina at the Savoy, and Curtis and Portia at the Savoy. I was really happy to see Kai and Trina actually spending some time together outside of Kai's hospital room or random meeting places that Kai and Trina have met up at. So it was really nice to see them together, and it seemed like Trina was thoroughly enjoying herself. And I'm glad Portia kind of played it cool when she came over, because I know she was genuinely wanting to be nosy and be like, ooh, what's going on with my daughter? She got a date, like, ooh, but she didn't. So that was great. It was really nice to see Portia and Curtis together, like I mentioned. And I was really happy to hear that Curtis really enjoys working at Aurora and that it poses a challenge for him. Whereas the Savoy was, this nightclub that he started, but now he needs to move on to bigger and better things. Towards the end of the episode, we see Chase and Brooklyn come in, and Chase is back singing again. I wonder where that came from. I wonder if it's something to help him take his mind off of the fact that he can't conceive a baby. I hope that doesn't sound rude, but I mean, some people just need an out or an escape, or they need something else to focus on when you get bad news. He's back singing for this evening, and he sang one of Brooklyn's songs, which made me really happy. But you know what I was thinking? Wow, the previews for today were showing when Curtis said, we're not going to let him ruin our evening. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I worried during Chase's performance that Link Brown would be just lurking in the shadows somewhere. I don't know why that pops into my head, but hopefully there ain't going to be no drama surrounding that. But maybe it's something else. I don't know. Mac and Felicia. So we don't really get to see too many scenes with them alone together. So this was a nice touch for me. Mac had a migraine. Felicia was pretty much with him and taking care of him. And Mac is really upset to have seen Sasha and Jason kissing. Oh my God. We're going to cover that. We are going to talk about that kiss. But he was upset to see that. And Felicia kind of reminded him that, their relationship wasn't always roses and butterflies. It came with its ups and downs. And they broke up and found their way back to each other plenty of times. And if Sasha chooses to be with Jason, then that's her choice to make. But who knows? They could be together and find out that they really care for each other and fall in love. Mac wasn't feeling that. But it was really nice to see them together today. And it made me really happy because they're one of the couples, I believe, that have been on the show for quite a while. Now, Maxie has told Spinelli to pretty much be the guy that gets Lucas and Gunther. That's stupid. What? I'm going to call him G. So, Lucas and G together on a date. And I was trying not to laugh because the date or their little pleasantries in the beginning were very forced, it seemed. And then fucking Spinelli wasn't no damn help. He was just all up in it, okay? Like, dude, go sit your ass down. Let them talk. But they started talking, and Gunther was like, it doesn't really seem like you're ready. And Lucas apologizes, and Gunther leaves. He asks, what is wrong with me? And then you see Brad by himself, and Lucas decides to join him. And Spinelli ain't too happy about that. So it seems that Lucas is kind of stuck on Brad, or he can't get over him, or something just keeps pulling him back towards Brad, which I think all of us have had those moments of the heart wants what it wants, which is what Felicia said today, I believe. And if Brad and Lucas do get back together, I hope that it works out. It's not going to end badly, but I don't know. Considering that Selena is still in the mix, I don't see it going well for Brad, but who knows? Who knows? I think that's everything for yesterday's episode. We will now discuss Monday's episode. So, let's talk about that kiss first. Jason is still in the interrogation room. Elizabeth comes to see him, and they're talking about the evidence that her and Lucky collected, and she's basically telling Jason, like, she's going to speak to Anna to see if she can get Cyrus arrested because of what they found. And then later on, we see Sasha walk in. She wants to see Jason. They're talking about the fact that their plan that they have to make people believe that Jason is the baby's father isn't enough. They need to do something more. And as Sasha is getting ready to leave, she opens the door. I don't know if she probably sees Willow and them standing outside. She says, go with me on this, and she kisses him, which is what I believe happens. I didn't hear the kiss, but everybody's been talking about a kiss. Very passionate kiss that happened between Sasha and Jason, and I believe that's where it happened. So, I believe, though, because they have kissed, that a relationship is going to form. And it's an interesting one, but I don't see it as too far-fetched for Sasha and Jason to be together. Now, when Michael comes home, I know Michael was in a relationship with Willow, so I don't think there's going to be any competition, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens when Michael does return home. Because I don't think he'd have an issue with Jason dating Sasha. Not at all, actually. But it'll just be interesting to see what'll happen. Speaking of Willow, she's at the hospital talking with Felicia. And we then see her speaking with Martin. They're talking about Elaine and what happened to her and how they're going to get dirt on Michael. And Willow saying she doesn't want to hurt Michael. They should be able to do this in a civilized fashion without bringing any dirt into it. And then she gets a call from a worker on the Quartermain property that her car had been impounded. And so she's all upset. She goes down to the police station, and they're trying to get things figured out as far as that. Willow says she's not willing to compromise anymore with the Quartermains. And I believe she sees Sasha and Jason kissing. Maybe this will solidify it for her that Sasha and Jason are together in some way. Or it might make her more suspicious. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think Willow's going to get suspicious and start trying to figure some shit out. Because when Michael found out that Willow and Drew had kissed, he left. And she didn't know where he was. And I feel like she's going to do her own sort of investigation into this. And this shit's going to get ugly, in my opinion. So, can't wait to see what's going to happen there. Sonny and Carly. I love seeing these two together. When they were married, when they were scheming for John Cates' murder. Like, so many things has happened between Carly and Sonny, and I just like seeing them together. So, Sonny is there to tell Carly that him and Ava settled on a custody agreement for Avery. And Carly's trying to ask him, like, why? Why did you settle? Like, what happened? And Sonny is telling her all this shit, but he's avoiding why he really settled on that custody agreement with Ava, which is he has a heart condition and he's trying to avoid stress, and what's best for him and his health is for him not to argue with Avery's mother, not to go through a long, drawn-out court battle that could also traumatize his daughter. And this just needed to happen. So they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He's telling her, well, this was what was best for everyone, okay? There's nothing going on. This was what was best. Carla doesn't believe him, but she's like, okay. And Avery and Donna had made Sonny Valentine's Day cards, and seeing them as parents together too also really makes me happy, because they're both good parents, I feel like. And so, yeah. And when Sonny leaves, he tells her Happy Valentine's Day. So that made me really happy to see. I also forgot to mention something surrounding yesterday's episode, which was Dante and Lulu. Now, we will get back to Monday's episode in a second, but I want to mention this. Dante and Lulu had a really good conversation. Dante pretty much comforting Lulu and telling her not to beat herself up. You lost 4 years of your life due to something that was completely out of your control. So you're playing catch up, and it's okay. And your son, he's a forgiving teenager. He understands that you've been through a lot. He just misses and loves his mom. And I loved those scenes, especially with the cupcakes. Lulu told him not to take a cupcake, and he took one anyway, and they were kind of like, having some fun over that. So that made me happy to see, especially because I think Lulu is going to be the one to bring light into Dante's life again now that he's lost Sam. So I am excited to see where that goes. Back to Monday's episode. Elizabeth tells Anna of the evidence her and Lucky have found. And at first, it doesn't seem like Anna's really budging. She's like, well, there isn't really much evidence. Like, you need to find me something else I can use. And Elizabeth's going on and talking about the box that she found and, the papers or whatever. And finally, Anna agrees to see what she can do. And if she finds something, or if she feels that this is worth an arrest, she will arrest Cyrus. So that makes me happy to see. And it was also really nice to see Elizabeth and Jason together in scenes, because I don't feel like that happens very much, especially because she's been spending so much time with Lucky, which not complaining about, but it's just really nice to see. But after watching yesterday's episode, I'm worried for Elizabeth. Like, I know she needs to do what she needs to do, and this is sort of personal for her, especially because she had to take leave off as a nurse because of this, and people were accusing her and because she was the nurse on duty. But man, oh God. I just hope that nothing bad happens to Elizabeth and they can catch Cyrus's ass, because he need to be in fucking jail with some ironclad bars around his cell. Trina and Jocelyn. I love their scenes because now they have had similar experiences with losing their men in horrific ways. Dex died because of Cyrus. Spencer died because of Esme. And now they both have that as a commonality between them that bonds them. And Trina is so kind and she's a supportive friend. God, I wish I had a best girlfriend like that. But she's so kind and supportive. And she's like, hey, I went to the store. I bought us some food so we can cook and maybe we could watch a movie and gorge on food that we probably shouldn't. Let's cook together. Let's bond. Let's do something together to keep our minds off of what we're missing today. Joss is like, are you like, okay? Like something wrong? Why aren't we ordering out? That cracked me up. But Josh just wanted a day in. And Trina gets a text from Kai asking if she had plans tonight. And basically he wants to take her to the Savoy. And after some back and forth, Trina decides to go. And there was some silence after she left. I don't know what Joss was doing, but I'm pretty damn sure it had something to do with Cyrus. She probably was getting ready to stalk him or something. I don't know. But I know somewhere on Facebook it was mentioned about that gun. And in the preview for this week, it sounded like gunshots were fired. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared to see what's going to happen with Jocelyn. But I hope she's going to be okay, just like Elizabeth. Oh, there are too many people in fucking Cyrus's crosshairs, and I don't like it. Ugh. I think that's everything. If I missed something, it'll be okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm glad I was able to remember what I could of these last 2 days. Sorry for my lack of consistency. I've just been pretty anxious about the surprise that I have for you guys that has not been uploaded yet. I'm really sorry about that. But there have been some delays, so I've been anxiously awaiting that. So I'm sorry. But hope you enjoyed Monday and Tuesday's episode. I will watch today's episode today, and I will record tomorrow. So, in the meantime, hope y'all are staying warm, enjoying your day. Love you all, and talk.